Hello, we're back at Buffalo Times and I'm Nancy Shade and I'm here with Colleen Christ We're
at the Vermont Food Venture Center today. The Vermont Food Venture Center is one of 3 physical places operated by the Center for an Agricultural Economy. The Center for an Agricultural Economy is a Hardwick-based nonprofit focused on working with the rural farm and food system in a variety of ways. And we organize our work by thinking about programs and places. We have 3 places where we operate. The Vermont Food Venture Center, which is here. We have storage, we have long-term food processing tenants, we have 2 commercial kitchens that can be rented out, and we have our Just Cut vegetable processing program here. This is also the home of our business services office, where 3 of us work together to provide business advising and coaching for farms and food businesses across Vermont. We also have operations in the Food Hub. That's the home of a lot of our administrative staff, our community kitchen, our Grow Your Own program, and Farm Connects, which is our farm-to-store delivery service. And finally, CAE owns Atkins Field, which obviously is used by the community for a wide variety of things, including the farmers market.
On Fridays?
On Fridays at 3.
3 to 6?
Mm-hmm.
Rain or shine?
That's right.
We were there for the first market. It was raining very hard.
I mean,
but it was on.
People
These
count
farmers,
on it being there, so we put it on.
They come out. We're having action here in the building already. What kind of action is happening? Tell our audience what is going on here.
Well, our administrative operations coordinator, Jess, is coming through. And also our Just Cut team is in production today, although they're back in the warehouse further back.
I wanted to ask about Just Cut.
Yes, go ahead.
Now, who does the Just Cutting?
So we have a crew, kind of a few full-time folks and then some other part-time folks who do the vegetable processing on a day-to-day basis. They're overseen by the production manager, Chandra, who is right in that office back there, off screen, I guess. And Lottie Rosecrans was the longtime Just Cut manager and now works with our clients, our business clients across the organization. So she's working with those Just Cut farms to bring the vegetables in here, and she's also working with delivery clients, Farm Connects clients, to help grow their sales and support them.
And so this is a very busy time of year for you.
Yes, Just Cut mainly works with schools, universities, and hospitals. And of course, the schools and universities are just starting back up. So Just Cut is really going back into the full swing of things here.
Is there any freezing that goes on of the products?
Yes, Just Cut does produce chopped potatoes and carrots that they freeze during the summer. They also freeze blueberries, and a new product for them is hummus, which they're selling to UVM and hoping to sell to some other local markets, and the hummus will be sold frozen as well.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So are you the person that connects the product to the purchaser?
So I do not do that. I work with food businesses outside of Just Cut. So I work with independent food businesses who either want food safety advising, business advising, or a production home. The way that my work most directly intersects with this building is those folks who want a production home. And what I mean by that is, if you have a food business and you want to begin producing commercially or producing at a larger scale than you've been able to previously, you can rent one of our 2 commercial kitchens by the hour. We have businesses who are in 2 to 3 days a week and will eventually move into their own production space. We also have businesses who come less frequently, and this will be their long-time production home.
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How many people do you have? About?
We have 21 food businesses currently working with us on production. And like I said, that could range from Bard Hill Maple or Bardwoods Maple, who's in today making their maple sugar, and they'll be in tomorrow making their granola. They're here two to three times a week, and you could have somebody who comes in just once or twice a year, you know, doing just a different volume of product.
And you do baking as well?
Yes, we do offer, people can use our ovens. Yeah, people do baking, they do all kinds of food production. We're only FDA licensed, not USDA licensed. What that means is, generally speaking, we do not do any processed foods involving meat or raw dairy. So people may make a product here with cheese or with pasteurized milk, but they can't bring in unpasteurized milk to make something with.
So if they were to make Ezekiel bread, let's say, because that's that's grains that need to be sprouted.
Yes.
Now, would they be able to do that and rent the space for, I don't know, maybe once every 3 months?
Definitely, yes. With something like Ezekiel bread, that's a really interesting thing.
Well, would you bring in the grains?
So producers are responsible for providing their own ingredients.
Wonderful.
And our producers want that. They want control over their product. They want to pick the right ingredients for them. They want to experiment with their recipes and try new things. And we give them the home to do that. We give them the equipment to do that.
That is amazing.
It really is. One producer once was like, I've tried $45,000 worth of equipment today. And like, that's what we can offer folks,
And
is the chance to just find out what works for them.
what is the most complicated you ever had that you can think of in your experience?
Well, the most complicated recipe that we've ever had here? Oh, that's hard to say. I feel like so many of them are complicated in different ways.
Interesting.
Yeah, like today we have Bard Woods making maple sugar, which of course that's just one ingredient, maple syrup. But the process of heating it up to exactly the right temperature, quickly transferring it into a mixer and then into a grinder.
And then molds.
And then, well, they don't mold. This is sold loose, like for baking. It's not for the candies.
Okay.
But then sifting it, like it's a complicated process and the timing has to be just right. Whereas we have Mighty Mudita making vegan pepperoni here and other plant-based meats, plant-based meat alternatives. And his ingredient list can be quite long, and the recipe is complicated in that sense.
Right. Well, how did you learn to do this?
I suppose I learned on the job. I've always been, I would say, like, passionately interested in home food production. I like to cook, I like to make things, I like to try things. I've also worked on farms, in restaurants, and in business operations. So this is kind of taking all of those parts and bringing them together. And I also worked as a teacher for 10 years. So working with clients, showing them how to use the equipment, teaching them about food safety and other regulations, that can sometimes feel very much like a callback to that time in my life as well.
And it's full of variety what you're doing.
Yes.
So, are you from Hardwick?
No, I grew up in the Midwest. I actually live in Barrie now. I've lived in Vermont for the past, 13 years.
So you have quite a drive to get here. Do you come in every day?
Nearly every day, yes.
And the demand that's on you, how do you balance it with so many different products?
So generally, clients are fairly self-sufficient when making their product. Some clients do look for production help, just really direct assistance making their product, and I say yes to that as much as I can. But yeah, it's definitely a balancing act of knowing the amount of support that a client will need and the amount of independence that they want. We want our clients to, be growing towards making their product fairly independently. We are technically an incubator kitchen, meaning that many of our clients, as their business grows, will move on to other spaces. And we want to equip them with the knowledge to do that. Correct.
Is that why we have this additional building?
No, the additional building was really, the food hub, was really designed to house Farm Connects, which is our delivery service. We have at various times talked about having a larger kitchen available for businesses as they sort of begin to outgrow us, but we've never made the jump into doing that. But who knows what tomorrow holds?
That's right. Because as more people are in the business of providing food,
Yeah.
you may have more and more need
Yes.
for that space.
Yes, and we've seen an increase in interest in our kitchens. I feel like post-COVID, generally, as people become more interested in a local food system and in food production, I think those early days of COVID sort of brought home for folks what can happen when the global food system shuts down.
So for the state of Vermont, this could be a vital resource for foods.
Yes, and we're the only commercial kitchen of this nature in Vermont.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is wonderful. I'm glad to hear that.
And we
Boy,
have people using the businesses, using the kitchens, businesses that are based in Burlington, in Colchester. So we have folks coming quite a way to use this.
And this broadcasts abroad. I mean, this is a larger broadcast. If they need it, they can send it to other stations and pay attention to what is happening here. What else would you like to share with us that I haven't asked you about?
I think what I'd like to share is just how much we work with businesses at every phase of development. We offer food business consultations for an $85 fee, and we waive that fee if there's a financial need for that. And we work with businesses who, it's somebody who has an idea, they've seen a thing, they make a thing, they'd love to learn more about how to make it, all the way to businesses who have been in business for 10 or 15 years and want to change up something in their production. And we love that. We'll visit people in their production space and take a look at it. We love all those ways of engaging with the food system. I think sometimes people think, oh, well, I'm not going to produce at the Venture Center, so I don't need that resource. And yeah, we have a lot to offer beyond just the production, although certainly this is kind of the core. The kitchens are the core of our facility here.
And you can connect people with what they need.
Yes.
For product.
Yes. We can provide advising on sort of any aspect of their business, whether it's making a shelf talker, how to approach stores to make sales, packaging resources, what licenses you need for food safety. You know, if your product is food safe, if it's shelf stable. We can connect you with resources or answer questions about all of that.
And you have some artists who can even do the artwork for the product. I mean, this young woman, T. Guru, she could do labels for people if they so need it.
Yeah, we have a resource guide that we share with our clients that has a list of all kinds of different people that they can reach out to. Folks to do artwork, folks to do label design, folks to do other graphic design, folks to make truck wraps if that's what your business needs.
That's amazing. Colleen is going to tell us about the cycle that you go through with the product.
Yeah, so our mural sort of shows the entire Vermont food system, starting up here with the farm, the planting, the farm stand, and then coming down here are those areas where CAE really works with food. Here we have the trucking and the distribution of the food, the warehousing and storage of the food, and then the production. In the mural, they're making kimchi. Then we go up to the restaurant, the compost, and the cycle begins again. So the Venture Center was really started to provide this portion of the mural, this portion of the food cycle. And before the Venture Center came to Hardwick, there was no one in the Northeast Kingdom providing that. There was no publicly available space to process food. Of course, we had food businesses, but they were home-based or based in private kitchens that weren't available to other businesses. This is a list of our different production clients and what they make. You can see we have everything from sauces, syrups, vegan cheesecakes, sprouting seeds, aronia berry syrups, kind of the whole gamut of products that you can produce in a facility like this. We also offer storage to local farms and food businesses, and we have a lot of frozen storage right now available at the Food Hub if any local farms are interested in that. I know sometimes people will call and they'll be like, I have a cow and I don't have any space for it. I just got it butchered. Can I store it with you guys for a month? And we're like, sure, yeah, bring it in. But you can see all the businesses who work with us. Local Donut, who's just rebranded to Baker's Bench. They're making sourdough now, which is really amazing. Chef Nadav, storing his pita breads and other ingredients for his catering here. Lots of different meat and poultry farmers storing product here. And folks are able to access their product, come and go as they need to, pick up product. So it's a really, that way farms don't have the expense of having their own freezers. And we're able to do it in a more green or like ecological manner by aggregating all of those freezer spaces here.
And you used to bottle Schwitzel.
Schwitzel, he did produce here for many years, that's correct.
I miss it.
I know, it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah. But does that mean you have a bottling system as well?
We do. We have a 4-bottle filler, which is what he used, and we also have a gravity filler. And that's some of the equipment that's available to clients. This is our warehouse space. Clients and businesses rent storage from us in the warehouse. You can see like here we have a food business, Mighty Mudita, who's storing ingredients and packaging and other tools for production here. Hello. Or down here we have a pallet of oat milk for local Front Seat. Front Seat is able to get a better rate by ordering bulk quantities of oat milk, but they don't have the space to store it. So that's another way that we work with local farms and food businesses, is just giving them storage space that they may not have at their facility. So they're able to come in and take oat milk and so on as needed. Well, CAE has about 35 to 40 employees at any given time.
Wow.
Yeah, but of course these employees are with Bard Woods. They're doing their own production for their own maple sugar. These are not CAE employees. Actually, yeah, come in. So this kitchen isn't in use today, but this kind of gives you a sense of the scale that we're working at here and that we're helping businesses get to. So this is a 60-gallon steam kettle that businesses can use to heat up ingredients for elderberry syrup, aronia berry syrup, and so on. And that is primarily what it gets used for. And then this is a smaller 20-gallon steam kettle that businesses also use. And we're really proud of the way that we help businesses to scale up. On our way out, I can show you one of our businesses, one of our clients, Green Mountain Peanut Butter, she's produced here for several years. And in the past year, she has grown enough that she's now buying peanuts by the pallet instead of the box. So when her first pallet came, we were all like, oh my gosh, you're doing a pallet business now. It was very exciting. So helping businesses grow and scale up like that is really what we're here for, and providing the equipment to do it.